Hi, Mirna, Solarizano Angel Medium, back again. Welcome, you've made it to video 3. And so in this series, again, what we're talking about is how to hear your angels. And I hope that you've been able to practice over the last couple days and have seen perhaps a difference in the impressions and the feelings and the knowing that you've been getting from your angels. And today I want to discuss another way in which I hear my angels. And so that would be the inner voice. We all have an inner voice that we hear in our heads. And it sounds like our voice most of the time. And for some, it's all of the time. There isn't a parameter of right or wrong. What's most important is that you're paying attention to that inner voice. So, how many times have you thought in your head, I'm wanting to exercise, and you hear this little voice that's saying you feel so much better if you exercise. You should go sign up at the gym. And of course, that's that first impression you get. That's how you know it comes from the angels. It's the very first hit. Or you're asking to yourself, you know, what should I do today? What do I want to do with my day today? And this thought comes in, you should go out for a morning walk, smell the trees and the flowers and get some fresh air. And it's a thought, it's this inner voice. It comes very quick. You're not even done asking the question, what should I be doing today? And you're already getting the response. And because it's in our head, and it sounds like our voice, the way we know how to hear ourselves in our head, we think that it's something we're thinking of. But in reality, that is an inner whisper from the angels. So they're telling you very gently, or should I say they're nurturing and guiding a thought of something that you would really benefit from to do. But then you're like, meh, I'm going to watch some TV and kick back on the couch. I'm going to have a cup of coffee and just sit on my computer and hang out on Facebook. I'm just going to relax the afternoon. Well, you've just not listened to something that the angels have told you. And so how many times have you had this inner voice that says you should get some fresh air, you need to get off the couch, you need to do this, or you need to do that. And it comes very quickly. And you dismiss it. And it's a very soft whisper. It's not meant to be this big yelling at you that you need to do something. So practice listening to that inner voice more, and you will find that you are, again, strengthening that form of communication with the angels. And the more you become more aware of what's going on in your thoughts, of what's going on with what you're feeling here, what's going on and what you're knowing here, the more tapped in you're going to be with your angels. So when you put all of these things together and you've got it coming from all different directions, you get the knowing, you hear the voice in your head, you get the feeling, and you start to tune into these things. It's actually exercising your brain. You're exercising muscles that you're not used to using. But the more that you exercise your senses, the more you're going to pick up on the language of the angels. And so this, again, is just a small glimpse of what I teach in my classes. I teach an AIP course called Angelic Intelligence Practitioners, and I certify my students, my clients, in learning the language of the angels and a lot more. We learn about angel medicine and how to heal with angels. It's a modality that we use with the angels. And it really brings you into a higher vibration of being. It really changes your life. When you work with the angels, there are big things that happen in your life. There is a light that comes and emanates from you to your friends, to the world, and you see and begin to see things through different eyes, through a different perspective. And to some people this calls to them, and to others it doesn't. And that's okay, because remember, we are all on our own path. But I hope that you will pay more attention to those little thoughts in your head. Now you can ask your angels and begin to have conversations with your angels in your head. And so I know what you're thinking, crazy, but you'd be really surprised about the information that they will give you. And it's true. And that is when you're really going to experience the power of the angels. That's when you're going to experience that the information you're getting in your head that you think you're making up because that's what you want to hear. When you see these things happen, when you see that the choices that you make when you're working with the angels starts to happen for you, and there's no doubt in your mind that this is angelic communication. So I hope that you are gaining some knowledge about the angels, how they work, what they're about, what their purpose is, and maybe you're starting to see and look back on your life and seeing all these instances when the angels imparted wisdom to you profoundly, and now you're thinking, oh, that was my angel. Now that I'm hearing this from her, and understanding that, yes, I have heard my angels all along. I've experienced them in these ways. And this is kind of starting to make some sense. Maybe there's a little bit more to this angelic communication. So, I'll give you another example of what I have always known from my angels, information they've always told me. And they are more like safety precautions for me. Because I am a small female, I'm not a very big and strong person, I've always had this knowing and this feeling of safety. I've always known, I've always been impressed that because of my stature, I need to be careful around men, around groups, around being out at night. My angels, I've always known, for example, I've always heard in my head to not stop at an ATM at night to pick up money in the bank. I've always been told to not go to a gas station at night, and if possible to not go to a store or grocery store or anything else at night, to not do these things by myself, because I am making myself vulnerable in those situations, and I attract attention, and it can be the wrong attention at night. It just seems like sometimes the crazy people come out at night, and you probably as a female do not want to be out at those times. Now that doesn't mean that I don't do it if I absolutely have to. If I'm out of gas, I've got to stop. But 90% of the time, I always make sure to get my gasoline into my car before it gets dark. If I do have to stop at night, the angels will let me know by the feeling that I get whether I pull into a particular gas station or not. And to me, it's common sense, but there is a lot more information that came from the angels. Don't pull into that gas station. There is what appears to be a couple of thugs, a couple of male individuals that are going to harass you while you're putting your gas in the car. Let's go to the next gas station. So if that's resonating with you, and for some of you, you might think, oh, common sense, but I can't tell you how many times I've driven by a gas station at night and have seen beautiful women at a gas station making themselves completely vulnerable, oblivious to their surroundings, oblivious to what's going on in their life. And so that is part of the guidance that I have received from my angels. And I give this to you as an example because maybe now you can look back in your life and think about things that you've kind of always known. You know, it doesn't have to be about gas stations and ATMs. There are just things that in your life you've known not to do or not to approach. And it's been a knowing, it's been a feeling. Again, protective information from your angels in whatever way you're going to process it from, whether it's in your inner voice, the crown of your head, feeling, could have even been, you know, something even more profound, like a dream. And so we'll talk about that on our last video 4. So for now, if you like what you saw, please share it. Please leave me your comments below and let me know how this serves you. How does this work for you? And is this something that you've experienced as well? Is this the inner voice? Have you heard your angels? Or in me just explaining this to you, are you hearing something now? So until next time, angelic blessings and God's love unto you.